Angola is a bit of an enigma. It's very wealthy through its oil and diamonds, yet most of its population live below the breadline. Its 20-year war has left it devastated, yet its economy is one of the fastest growing in the world. And it's a country that has forgotten the meaning of the word tourist.
Paint graffiti on that building.
But the big camera, other side is there, two policemen standing. We must be focused to them.
Where?
Other side, I can see them. I can see them. No? Yeah, but for the small camera, it's not a big problem.
Okay.
As you can see, this building falling down. This was a storeroom for the gunners, armament. We call it armament in Portuguese, the room where we can store our guns and all this stuff. One the guy smoking, leave his cigarette, then it blowing out, start burning, because it's the gun bullet, is that cause to the... And I was asking also, the guy is not remembering nicely there, but he's saying it's from 7 to 75 is there when this was happening on this side.
Bought myself a Unitel number,
Local
number plus a telephone.
Yes.
It was they're very expensive.
Okay.
$900 American or rand, which I don't think is a bad deal.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Refueling is always an event in Angola. Here we are waiting for the owner. Who knows when he'll turn up? But until he does, we can't move.
Hopefully there's fuel, but if you take a town like Madongi, and if you take a town like Uambu and all these places, which is quite major towns, the truck will come like once every week or once every 2 weeks. So when the truck arrives, there is like 1 million people standing there with all their cans, and they just fill up. So as the tanker empties, they empty the pumps immediately within a day. And then off they go, and then they sell it at home for a little bit of a profit. Yeah, they sell it in these little 750 milliliter bottles, wine bottles.
We'll see it on some of the roads actually, standing next to the road, trying to sell it to us as well.
With full fuel tanks, we head west. Andre finds a track, and we set up camp for the night. As usual, we have visitors. But these, sorry, no, I'm not giving them my oranges. I've realised, particularly camping now, next to the road. Of course, the other question I must ask myself right now is, how do I feel after being weeks completely on my own, now 1 whole week with a group? Well, thankfully, this group is working extremely well. They're a bunch of extremely nice people, and the whole chemistry of the group is fantastic. I'm thoroughly enjoying this part of the trip. And now?
Oh, sorry. We are just checking out the water, so it's a little bit...
I've been sitting now in the driver's seat for a long time. I think a short interlude would do me good. I must say it's quite nice being in the passenger seat. It's been 4 weeks, just under 4 weeks, and I suppose about 4,500 kilometers. Stick around.
Well, I'm enjoying this vehicle. I've never driven a cruiser on these sort of roads. I'm amazed how they're just, it's almost a magic carpet ride. They just soak up all the undulations, the potholes. Angola, it's a country that's just been unbelievably devastated. The roads, I don't think have had any attention on them for 20 odd years, if not more. So they sort of disappear into tracks that were once beautiful, massive wide roads with proper toppings, which you can see sort of eroded from time to time. Anyway, to drive these roads as they are today with this car is absolutely wonderful.
Further and further east we go. It's this part of the journey that I've been looking forward to the most, to finally see the source of the Okavango, and I'm getting tantalizingly close. Okavango is an important town in my search for the source of the Okavango, the Okavango River running past it. The Catholic Church is the town's centrepiece, and as we arrive, being a Sunday, the parishioners are leaving. I've asked Andre to see if we can film inside. We've stopped to do our check-in at the police station to make sure that it's okay that we film here. So I'm having to film a little bit surreptitiously from the car, and Andre's been taken off to some official's office to get permission. It's something that is a regular occurrence. I'm kind of getting used to it though. You come into a town, you just have to do the reporting thing, and then generally everything from then is okay, and you can relax.
Okay, unfortunately that there was a group of tourists that came through about 2 months ago, and went to the church, took a lot of pictures, and then they broke accidentally some of the artifacts. So the pastor don't want to allow us any photography whatsoever.
Not even go in there?
No.
Not even go in?
Don't want to allow us in his church, and which is sort of understandable. That's the way it is. So.
In my search for the source of the Okavango, this river, the Okavango, is the most important. This and another river further east, the Quito, drain Angola's highlands south, entering the Okavango River as it enters Botswana. To find its source, I must travel north. This is what I absolutely love about travel in Africa. Come to a place like this and you see all of the local colour, the local flavours. It's what excites me so much. On this particular trip though, this river is significant. It's the first time I've seen the river, the Okavango River, north of where it enters Botswana, and that's why I'm here. This is the Okavango River. Spelt with a B by the Portuguese, it's actually the Okavango River, and it and another river, which we will discover later on, actually join up and meet the Okavango. But now, okay, I could now take this river downstream and enter Botswana and go into the Okavango, which is the idea of this expedition. But I haven't had nearly enough of Angola. So what we're going to do now is head north to actually find out where this river actually begins. And I imagine at that point, I'm still not going to have enough of Angola. So we're going to do some more exploring. I need to see the coastline as well. So the days ahead, not sure how they're going to turn out, but I have a feeling pretty well. The war is inescapable. Here we can admire the new rail bridge recently built by the Chinese, but next to it, the bridge, built so strongly that none of the many attempts to blow it up were successful, remains, still used every day by the locals. The water is remarkably clean, so it's time to do some housekeeping and top up our jerry cans. this is the Kutata River. We've only traveled about 30 kilometers further east. Look at the amount of water coming down, and we aren't actually close to the highlands yet. We're still quite far from it. Yet this river looks like the kind of river you'd find in the mountains. One river after the other. The amount of water flowing south is absolutely exceptional. I know they've had a lot of rain, but boy, oh boy, these rivers are beautiful. The water is clear. They're like mountain streams. And everywhere you look, there's progress. People building things. Look at this lot. Yet another river. This one is the Quito. As usual, it's flowing strongly, and as usual we are given a hearty welcome by the locals. Although this time, it's not only the local children who will play in the river. One of the remnants of war most poignant is one that will soon be removed as the roads are rebuilt. In this case, it's the road between Monongwe and Quito Carnivale, better known as the Road of Death. I've been on the road for almost 3 weeks in my quest to find the source of the Okavango. And while I am tantalizingly close to my goal, I'm in the town of Monongwe going in search of a souvenir. Because there is no such thing as airport art in Angola, I'm really not too sure what I'm looking for.
No, here it is. Okay, there? Yeah. He'll sell it to you for 400.
Okay.
Now I feel part of the nation. Oh, what did they say?
They want to know if I had a permit.
To take pictures?
Yeah.
So you told them you didn't understand and that, that you asked permission and they said yes, so you did it. Let's drop something in the road there. We're now making our way out of town, but before we do so, we're going to buy some pau. Don't ask me what a pau is, I don't know.
Pau means bread, but we at Namibia or Ursa guide just call it pau, but it did not make a difference. The small one we call it pão burro, and this one we call it pão cassette.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's lunch.
It's a lunch or something to eat. Drink this.
My first pau. It's bread. Good bread. Very good bread. This fuel station is a couple of kilometers outside Monongwe. Nice, isn't it? Best one I've seen in Angola. Not much use though. No fuel. Not a drop. Angola is amazing. You can't travel for more than 30 minutes anywhere before something unusual or fascinating steps out into the road or track in front of you.
Why is the travel from here to longer?
We were able to lend a hand to these people and in return find out about the road ahead.
The road is very, very extremely bad.
Oh, the road bad.
Now here's the thing. As the road gets really bad, really rough, really bumpy, you start seeing the carcasses of military vehicles. The road is rough, not because of trucks, not because of rain, it normally is, it's because of bombs and missiles. Where convoys were attacked, the road has been shot up and has never been repaired. And every carcass, every wreck, someone's life. Why? Why? These blue markers indicate where a mine was actually pulled from the ground. Now, what we're doing now is heading further east, where some of the severest, most bitter battles were fought. I'm in the heart of Angola, in southern Africa, in a region where until 20 years ago, Cubans, Angolans and South Africans were fighting a bitter border war. Since then, Angola has been decimated by its own civil war. The signs are everywhere. Last year, when my guide Jaco Richter was in Angola, he took photographs of the children here doing flick-flacks. And now he's back to hand them around.
He's on the seat, he's not here.
Okay, but they will also give to him.
Today, they're going to upstage themselves by doing flick-flacks in the river. People have probably never seen somebody with such white skin in their entire lives. What an adventure in Africa. I can think of not too many better jobs. There aren't that many better jobs.
Not to this one. Maybe. No, you're charging a good one, Andy.
Whereas normally we're doing the watching, we are being watched. Not far outside Longa is a war artifact worth visiting. Destroyed on the ground, it's a Russian Hind attack helicopter. Photographing the downed Russian Hind helicopter. Suddenly Gonzalez and Andre have gone. Apparently they've been taken by the police. Why? Don't know, one can only guess. And this is the thing about coming into these towns. I think it's probably okay if you do, but if you start taking pictures, people start asking questions. So again, we sit not really knowing what's going to happen. Try and find out what's going on. So the body language doesn't look that promising.
We're not allowed to take any photographs of any war tanks, artifacts that's lying next to the road. If they catch us, they will confiscate all cameras. So, but he was very nice, he understands. Speedy was telling him that, you know, we are very sorry, we didn't know about the situation. And he accepted the apology, and now it's up to us to decide what we're going to do.
So, we've decided to carry on as usual.
If you can sneak in one of that infrared shot of yours of that building, I think that's going to be the shot.
It's quite a thing to contemplate. Here is a long, narrow road running over gently sloping hills, and alongside it, signs where people have died, their vehicles scattered like common litter along the roadside. Between Longa and Quito Carnivali lies the Road of Death. What is it? What did this particular convoy comprise of?
Andrew, this convoy existed out of 11 transport vehicles, in other words, the old gas flatbed vehicles that either transported troops or ammunition or whatever supplies, and then 2 tankers, fuel tankers. On the left hand side we've got one here. You can see the holes where it's been shot with RPGs. 3 RPGs actually went through it, and a lot of small arms fire. And there's a trench running behind you for approximately 800 meters. So it's a perfect ambush area. Vehicles were on high ground, low ground on the side, so they had silhouettes, so even at night. Easy to take them out, and if you could stop the first vehicle, the vehicles behind it had absolutely no chance of getting out of the way. They were just sitting ducks. So, and we'll pick it up more and more as we progress on this road of death, that ambush sites, trenches on the side, so it's like serious business. They wanted to take out huge convoys, not to allow them to go through.
Now the battle that took place here was significant. You were telling me that it was the longest battle in the history of Africa since the Second World War.
Basically started in 87 and it ended in 88, the final battle of Quito Carnival. So it's a drawn out battle, and it's basically the Cubans, Fapla, South Africa and UNITA, everybody was involved in this war. This is basically a deformed steel helmet that someone most probably had on his head during the attack.
That's quite eerie.
No, it's eerie. No, it's incredibly eerie. Yeah, and this is, I don't know how long this has been lying here, but this is an old Fapla cap. I think this might be more recent years, because I don't think it would have lasted in the sun, and unless it was buried under the sand, and when they bulldozed all this away, that it opened it up again.
Yeah. You gonna keep it?
I don't know. It would like.
It's got a hole in it. No, it hasn't.
It's a little bit deteriorated. I'm not sure if it's the sun or whatever. Anybody who wants a Fapla cap?
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Nah, it's a bit uncomfortable. And this is Quito. And this is the filling station. And this is us. Time to see for myself up close if there is anything happening, because from back here it doesn't look promising. Nobody is pumping any gasoleo. The gasoleo pump is broken.
Is it broken?
Nobody is pumping diesel. Don't think there's going to be much happening in Quito. It's chaotic, and I must say I don't enjoy driving in this traffic at all, particularly trying to film at the same time. Very, very difficult, and actually quite scary. Where is he now? Because I'm not sure how to get out of here. Has he left without me? I think he has. Quito does have one redeeming feature.
not so super. Okay, it's just a shop, but then again, shops like this are not very common in Angola. And I treat myself to some tinned calamari in red chili sauce. It's fantastic. Oh, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Found ourselves camped last night right next to the main road. We simply pulled off the road and saw some villagers, asked them if it was okay if we could camp. They said it would be absolutely fine, and we pulled over and slept a night, and they didn't bother us at all. The journey today is going to be special, I think for me particularly, because at this point now we have climbed into the highlands. Now you wouldn't think looking around that this is the highlands, because it's not mountainous at all. In fact, the landscape is pretty flat. But we have climbed, and we are going to climb a little more today in search of the source of the Okavango River. So we've plotted it out on a map, we've looked at the GPS, and so we're going to be doing a little bit of exploring to try and find the source as high as we can get. How high that'll be, what we will find, I have absolutely no idea. Well, this is it. This is what it's all been about. I can hardly believe it. What Jaco has done is gone onto Google Earth and tried to trace it, and he's gone to the point where he thinks that it is the most northerly and highest point. I must say, this is not what I expected. Our path is blocked. Commonplace in rural Africa are cow or donkey driven carts. But this one's got a problem. Well, this is a first for me. I've pulled out many a vehicle over my years of off-roading, but never an animal before.
Põe assim, depois fecha. Imagine isso, ok. Iniciar nesse lado aqui. O ferro, esse ferro que está para iniciar naquele lado lá. Quem está em frente depois?
I've been on the road for 22 days on my quest to find the source of the Okavango, and this is it. I feel an anticlimax coming on. Well, maybe not. The river. We could try and find it a little bit high up, but there are no roads and there's this constant threat of landmines. So practically speaking, I'm quite happy that I will have this waterfall in my mind in a month's time when I enter the Okavango River in Botswana and take its course from there.
am so pleased that we stopped and camped here last night. There's an intangible energy about this place. Maybe it's the presence of the chapel here. They call this the campground. Now, that's not because we are camping here. That's actually the name the local people give to this place. And every April, Catholics from around the area come and celebrate Easter here. Several hundred of them still come every year. So there's an energy about the place that is intangible, but so good, so positive, so enlivening. I don't know, it's quite powerful actually, to the point where it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit unusual. But what a fantastic evening, what a fantastic night.
So here we go with the old coconut cream. Just look at that, it's a beautiful colour. Rice on the table. The rule of the game is that you may not stir, but you can dig. Because if you stir, you just turn it into porridge, but you can dig for the goodie at the bottom.
Lovely.
How's it, Gonzalez? How's the chicken?
Nice, duksach. It's modern word, nice.
It's daybreak before sunrise. I've come out because before nightfall last night, I had a good look around, walking up, around, and I've realized that I've been a lot more successful at finding the actual source of the Okavango than I first thought. If I look around me, I see no higher ground. The Okavango River at the bridge down there is fed from that valley. It's a closed valley. I see slopes moving down from all directions. I don't think we could have got to a higher place even if we had tried. And I must say also that so far during the trip, this has been the most special campsite for me. Not because we're close to the source of the Okavango. The place has an amazing energy about it. I don't know, you just feel good and excited about life, and I don't know what it is. It's unusual, and there's an energy here which is intangible, but boy is it there.
I have one more important task to perform before I leave the Okavango River. This river is about to take me with it. After a period of exploring more of Angola, I will follow its course down to its end. This river is unique, you see. It doesn't drain into the sea like rivers do, but spills out into the vast Okavango Delta. But my quest is to go beyond this. I will find the very last drop at the very end of its course. I wonder where it'll take me. Right, heading north, away from the battle areas, away from the war, to find the other side of Angola. I'm now going to try and actually experience it, not think too much about the war and its past, but a little bit more about what this country's all about. We have about 400 kilometers to go today before nightfall. It's 1 o'clock, so 5-ish. We'll be setting up camp, so it's basically the rest of the day it's sitting on the long straight road. Not so fast. I think that was wishful thinking. This, I guess, is why 90% of the cars in this country are Toyotas, 5% are Mitsubishis, the 5% are everything else. Sometimes the roads are absolutely atrocious. And you just feel for your car when you drive on them. And wonder how it stays in one piece. We've made it a habit of trying to find a campsite by about 4:30 each afternoon.
Andre, would you like us to wait so you can first go and have a look, or is it a designated one?
But because there are very few official campsites in Angola, each afternoon we have to find our own. Because the schedule on this particular trip is a little different from the trips that Live the Journey actually normally run, we're in a situation where now we're basically got to find a new campsite. Again, it's a case of finding safety hopefully away from the main road, and you can't just drive off anywhere because of the risk of landmines. So interesting to see how he manages this one. There's Andre and Gonzalez going off to find a suitable place to set up camp. But what about the 8 million landmines still lying buried in Angola? It only takes one of them to really spoil our day.
So the war carried on in this area till 2002, 2005 actually.
And that's supposed to make me feel better?
Quito was always in the war. It was, first there was a Bantu war, then the Portuguese came and there was a war between the Portuguese and the Bantus. And then after they were kicked out, it was a heavy UNITA and FAPLA war area till 2005. So this area was always part of the war. So let's rather try and see if it's safe before we just pull off the road.
The guy saying was the mine long time ago.
Okay.
We can try to go there, it's not a problem.
Okay.
And we will see what.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're welcome.
Yeah, we are welcome. They are saying like that. No? I did not ask you are the chief for this place, but they are saying that we are welcome.
Okay.
Standing now on the main street of Ovambo, we're just actually passing through as our convoy travels west towards the coast. Busy, bustling city under an intense state of repair. But every now and again you find these wonderful scenes of buildings that have been destroyed by bullet holes and bombs, and next to them bustling hotel and apartment blocks. Love this kind of place. Passing through a small town called Chinkwa. All along the route you'll notice that there are flags outside villages, outside shops, into towns of various political parties. This is the headquarters of UNITA in the area, and we've asked them if we can go inside, and they've said yes. And maybe this is where the mystery will end for me. Why was there a war in the first place?
Okay, as you can see here on the flag, UNITA flag, is there a sun rising and a chicken. That was a fight when Washington called the two parties to Washington to ask to make a difference of why they are fighting. Then Saddam said the sun coming, the chicken was already on the tree, the chicken was already screaming. Then the emperor, that's why on the emperor flag you find a star. Agostinho Neto, the president of the MPLA, said before the chicken climbed on the top, the star was on the sky. That's why you find this flag with a chicken and sun rising, and another flag for the opposite part of them, they have a star on the top. That was the result of their fight. One said before the sun is rising, the chicken was singing, and the other part said before the chicken climbing on the top of the tree to sing, the star was on the sky. Is that the meaning of that?
Oh, I see. So it was about a chicken. I mean, which one was first, the chicken or the star? So then, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the UNITA offices on the other side. We are dropping off the escarpment, heading west in amongst the baobab forests. We have gathered outside the coastal town of Lobito. Andre has asked us to gather together for a pre-Lobito briefing.
Driving into Lobito at the moment, so please, I want all the vehicles bumper to bumper. Now the reason for this is that it is absolutely mad, there's no rules, it's all Angolan rules. So bumper to bumper, and even with bumper to bumper, the taxis and the motorbikes are going to push right in between. They're going to
like ninjas.
They're going to push in there and they're going to cause chaos, but that's the way it goes. And the problem is I cannot slow down because I have to go with the flow of the traffic. And so please, bumper to bumper, and we're going to hit the madhouse, and hopefully we will be alive at the other side. Right.
Now, Lobito is a coastal town. I can't wait to see the sea after all this jungle and bush. Can't wait to see the sea. I have never particularly enjoyed traveling through any of the villages, and it's because A, driving on the right, and they're mad, they're chaotic. And this apparently is the most chaotic of all. A small camera gets attached to the front bar to record the action.
Good to go. Up on the road, so you can cut off the traffic. Thanks. No guys, go, go, go.
Lobito is Angola's chief port, or at least it was. Population said to be around 270,000, although by looking at it, it appears to be much more, and most of them are on the road this afternoon.
It's good fun. Amazing place. Part of the deal, part of the chaos. They're all behind us, I think. Wow. Stay close to you. Staying close to you.
Turn left, the road is going to split. You must keep left. At the split, at the little fuel station, keep left. And then you will see the parking space on your left-hand side.
I don't know why I didn't hit me. I have no idea. I now know why all Toyotas have the hooter on the steering wheel. And that is why they're so popular in Africa. It's not the fact that they're so reliable and they last forever and they don't break on these terrible roads. It's because they've got the steering wheel, and if you you don't have to press it, you just have to sneeze, you just have to move violently in the cab and the hooter will work, and they absolutely love it.
Good recovery.
And
I didn't copy, Joe, you stuttering?
The trek into and through Lobito has taken longer than expected, so we are camping on the beach in town. We camped on the beach last night. A little noisy with the waves, but very little traffic. It's a public beach, no ablutions, we have to make our own, next to a restaurant called a Zulu, and we ate there last night. Not great food, incredibly expensive food, not great, but it was nice. I suppose it was a nice change. Now what's going to happen is we're going to start heading south, exploring the coastline. Again, I have really no idea what to expect. The only thing that I know for sure about Angola is that it surprises all of the time. Built on a sand spit, Lobito was founded in 1843 and boasts one of Africa's finest natural harbours, and was until the war on the main export trade route and terminal of the Benguela Railway. It displays the stark contrast between the old and the new. These steam traction engines were used until the 1970s, many to power the local paper-making mills. Today, they stand as monuments to... I'm not sure. They haven't been replaced, the industries they served are mostly gone. And here's another one. This was once a thriving casino. And now?
Apart from it being a casino in its heydays, what they used to do over here, this was a water bottling plant. And they used to get aqua from this little stream coming down. Water got pumped up, and then they bottled water over here as well. Apparently nice fresh water.
Actually, I think it's an improvement. But that's just me. But the war and Mr. Castro are never far away.
Not a very accessible coastline.
Right. No more reasons for me to go wandering around here. It's here, at Lobito and south, that the face of Angola, its appearance, its look, changes utterly. When the Portuguese left here in the 70s, they owned a large fleet of fishing vessels, cargo vessels, and all kinds of things. And they weren't allowed to take them with them, so they took their families. They would load a couple of dozen families on one of the cargo ships and they would leave. But you know what they did with the rest of the fleet? Took them out into sea, pointed them towards the coast, opened taps, and sailed them straight into the beach. And here they are, lying here. Fuel is found on the outskirts of Lobito from someone selling it out of a 40-foot container. And while the cruiser is filled up, time to try the local cola. They have their own brand of Coca-Cola in Angola. I've never been to a country where there are less Coca-Cola signs. This is their local cola. It's called Red Cola. Give it a try. It tastes a bit like the environment around here. Very dusty, a little bit yellow. It's all right, but it's not great, and it's definitely not Coke. About an hour's drive south of Lobito is Benguela, a smaller, neater town. On the way down to find a place to camp, we pass some rather nice shorefront properties. Nice, aren't they? campsite is beautifully situated, but this one is a bit messy. As usual, we attract the locals who, like me, are looking forward to dinner. They must go and find theirs. Now, I would like you to imagine your children being this euphoric the time when a plate of steak, egg and chips was placed before them. Before we leave Benguela, we've been taken to a local fish market. I'm not sure if I really have the stomach for a fish market this morning. Last night I suffered from a mild dose of a runny gut. I'm not sure what from, but I don't know, dead fish? Could be rough. This area is called Fart Bay. Now don't laugh, it's Bahia Farta. That's its name. And this is the local fish market that serves the town of Benguela. Now if there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, this would be X-rated. I'm already feeling a bit delicate, but I think I'll risk it. In the cause of art.
No, he just complains a little bit of us for photographing over here. We actually need permission from local authorities in Lobito, because this is a new Navy harbour they're building over here. But you say today it's fine.
But today's okay.
Today it's okay, and because there will be nobody there because it's Saturday. But any other day we need permission.
Okay. Well, let's go. Oh damn it. For a moment I thought I had a good excuse not to go. And on the menu today is sand shark, grouper, octopus in a gritty sauce, giant cuttlefish, and catch of the day with a side order of flies. Okay, I've had enough. Time to go. Heading south from Bahia de Farta. I tell you, if anybody had farted there, nobody would know. Boy, oh boy. We're heading south now towards Namib. But before Namib, we will arrive at an oasis called Dombe Grande. Again, I have no idea what to expect. I am in the heart of Angola, enjoying its amazing variety of Well, everything actually. I'm in the town of Dombe Grande, an oasis in the true sense of the word. An open plain, lush, green and tropical, surrounded by true desert. My journey has already taken me through Namibia, through Angola, and I'm nearing the halfway mark of my intended route. I'm travelling with Andre Lecoq, my guide, and a group of friends, and we are here to replenish our food supplies. Not sure about the meat, but these do look good. It's vetkoek, a donut with the consistency of an old tennis ball covered with sugar. I felt as if my visit to Benguela, and more especially Lobito, had been a bit rushed. I'm determined that Dombe Grande is going to get more of my time. And to that end, I'm going to do something that I wanted to do since the first day I entered Angola. And that is to have a ride on one of the scooter taxis. These bikes are mostly 50 and 70 cc's, all built in China and all repaired over here. Even the new ones are rickety. The one I'm on is driven by Paul. He's very careful. It is obvious to me that he didn't go to bike driving school in Lobito. Again, Angola surprises. This is an oasis in a true style, but it's a vast oasis. And these trees, we haven't managed to identify them, are sitting in a flat plain of lush green, surrounded by drab, beige, desert hills. Amazing. Enormous pineapples. Juicy and sweet. Fantastic. A thing I have learnt about this country is that you can never take anything for granted. Things are often not what they seem, and it's always a good idea to look behind things. For example, in this tranquil wood, there are relics of its past industry. Dombe Grande was once a sugar-producing region many, many years ago. And this, I assume, was Antonio de Souza, the local sugar baron. I wonder where the rest of him is. A broad river runs through the town. We're standing on a bridge to shoot some pictures, and as usual, the locals are attracted to the camera like moths to a flame.
All the moves here, Andrew.
It starts with two teenage boys, and within minutes we have the entire Dombe Grande dance trio coming for auditions.
Okay.
now heading south of Dombe Grande on the main road. Actually just turned west now. Got another 20 or so kilometers to go, heading for the sea. Andrea is taking us to a secluded campsite on the beach. There's some cliffs. Kind of chasing the light here, chasing the sun to try and get there before nightfall. We are going to be spoilt tonight a little bit. Jaco Angelini, who's been on the expedition with us, I've mentioned before, he's an old client of mine when I used to edit television commercials. And he is going to make us a pasta. So I'm looking forward to that. But boy, what a day it's been. It has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic day.
We arrive in a relaxed mood. Andre and Skulk have time to throw out some lines. So I figure I'll do the same. I must tell you, those of you who have seen my previous programs and have watched me fish will make comment to you right now that I've never seen Andrew catch a fish. I don't see it often either. So by the time I reach the beach, Andre has landed 2 nice garrick. They're beautiful silvery game fish, caught on a lure. And I have exactly the same lure. Not that it makes any difference. I might as well throw in an old shoe, the number of fish rushing up to gulp it down. But enough of this. Watching someone else fish is about as interesting as watching somebody cut their toenails. However, something interesting is stirring around the camp. It's my friend Jaco Angelini, and he is in a garlic frame of mind.
Are you ready?
Yeah, that's what kick back, relax. You want a glass of water? Ish. This is called penne rigate, short pasta with ribbing. The ribbing is for holding the sauce. Aerodynamically, perfectly tested in the pasta wind tunnel. For sauce retention. You think I'm joking? Yep. Beautiful. Gone all foggy.
It's a pity I can't show you what I saw last night. But I went walking on this beach. There was moonlight, but there just wasn't enough light to film. There were 1 million ghost crabs on this beach. And I went running along it. And as I was running, they were leaving a path for me, running up the beach or running down to the sea. And they were much bigger than the normal ghost crabs. Their carapaces were about this big. Everything about this area, this region, marine-wise, is big. The fish are big. Now, this, for example, here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Cuttlefish. Now, that is not a normal cuttlefish. They're normally half this size. But look at this. It's absolutely extraordinary. the ladies that walk by the roadside selling fish. They're not selling prawns. Oh, that's on the lens. They're selling... I don't have two hands, I'm holding the camera. The prawns are a foot long. Amazing. And you know, the sad thing is, people blame the local fisher people for damaging the environment because they take out small fish, little fish like this, as well as the big ones. It's not fair. The fact is that these coastal waters are not policed by any navy. So the Chinese and Japanese bring their ships in and bring their enormous trawl nets, and they go up and down the coast, raping the coast, and yet the locals are accused of damaging the ecology by overfishing. Rubbish. The locals couldn't possibly have an effect on such an abundant area by taking out the fish that they do. And I wouldn't be surprised that in 5 or 10 years this entire coastline is depleted of its fish life. It's because of the big corporates and the big boats, and they're not even African.
It's just as well that I don't have to live on what I catch, like this chap. I wonder what lies in wait for his bait. Jaco is going out to find out. And with the magic of television, it doesn't take him long.
Monster oysters and octopus.
Octopus as well?
Huge, big ones, yeah. So I'm very glad the locals didn't get to them yet.
And shoalfish, etc.?
Yes, a huge shoal of sardines came past me. A lot of fish behind them, but yeah. No, it's amazing. If you go around the corner here, a lot of fish activity, lots. So I would actually suggest to the guys to just walk over this little ledge and go catch that side. But the octopus were just monsters, absolute monsters. But yeah, everything is big, everything is oversized here. Gee, I feel like a midget.
Another thing that I find amazing and don't really understand it. This is the west coast of Africa. Now, down in Namibia, the waves crash onto the beach. Here, this is as bad as they get. This is a violent sea, they tell me. It's placid. I wonder why. Nobody can answer the question. You see fish this morning, I believe.
I've missed about 5 or 6, and there's one lying on top there.
What?
Shad. But they strike shallow, they strike right here, so I keep on missing them.
"70% of Angolans live below the breadline, and all these people have is this ocean and its bounty. But for all that, they seem better off than so many in my own country, living in the squalor of the informal settlements."
As we travel further south, the landscape becomes more and more like that is familiar to me, that of Namibia. I've travelled to many times. Dry and arid, and a nice bit of smooth tar road. Actually looks brand new, which is a bit of a relief.
But not for long. Soon the landscape changes and the road gets rough again.
Suddenly, the ground has just flattened itself out. And I see on the GPS we're very close to the sea, and suddenly there's this wide open, flat area. And I think we're pretty close to where we're going to be spending the night.
And the closer to the sea we get, the redder and more fantastic the landscape becomes. Soon I find myself driving beneath towering red cliffs. And then I realise These cliffs, they're not rocks at all, but sediment. Keeping with the theme of giants, look at this. It's a pufferfish. But these are normally not more than a few centimeters across. I suffer from claustrophobia. It's not acute in my case, but my sense of curiosity is a little bit more powerful. You see, I've never walked under or inside an ancient river before, because for thousands of years water has deposited the sediment here and the sea has carved these vertical cliffs.
This is eerily claustrophobic. Hello? Wow, look at that.
I'm feeling decidedly uncomfortable, as if the whole thing is about to close up and trap me. I make my visit brief and am relieved to see sunshine and the beach again. And boy, what a beach it is.
We can camp at the other place. The other place, the bay, Sandy Bay, has a few other people, but a calm sea where we can swim and fish. And as you can see behind me, the sea, the surf is vicious. This is how I know the west coast to be. And it means no swimming and probably no fishing. But boy, what a choice to camp underneath these cliffs.
Oh, it looks like the decision has been made for me. This place is called Refueling. It's an official campsite, if you can call it that. No facilities, just a beautiful beach.
An absolutely incredible day, concluded by an absolutely incredible sunset in an absolutely incredible place. It really is an extraordinary country. Wow. Well, our campsite this morning, it's been very nice actually. We're not moving the vehicles today. This is one particular day where we're actually going to stay put, give ourselves all a bit of a break from travelling. And this is where, where we camped last night. Isn't that wonderful?
Yesterday, Andre caught 2 splendid fish from the surf. They're called garrick, and they make brilliant eating.
can I be guinea pig?
Yes.
Hmm? Mm. Fantastic. Actually, it's one of the great pleasures of life. Sit on the beach, take a fish out, cook it. Well done. Brilliant.
Fingers are good.
Right, you can actually carry on.
No.
Outstanding.
Good.
I really felt like fish. Only one way of improving it is if I'd caught it.
That is very good.
Eh?
Very good.
All over.
Yeah. Today's been a fantastic day. Day to relax, day to do nothing, day to think about doing nothing, afternoon sleep, day to reflect on how amazing the trip has been so far, and then the fact that I've probably just passed the halfway mark. We leave here tomorrow morning. We'll be heading further south and actually away from the coast to a place called Namib, more desert part of Angola. We have another 4 nights before we return to the Kalahari River and Namibia, where we will meet yet again at Ruacana. Okay, now we're going to visit one of the local lighthouses, which until very recently have been inoperative, and they're now back running. So we're going to go and have a look at one of them. Actually turns out that it is not working. It's faulty, although I can actually see the thing going around. They say they're waiting for a fan belt before they can turn it on. Not very interesting, is it? Time to go to prison.
Well, this is the Bentiaba prison, built in the Bentiaba River, and it's mainly long-term prisoners that they house over here, but they need the possibility of parole after 10, 15, 20 years. And they basically are housed here. And then what they do with the prisoners, they will, typical American, chain gang them, and they will work these fields, and they will actually sell the produce for money for the prison. And that's why they upkeep this whole area in such a nice, good state. It's very beautiful, as you can see.
We're gonna go.
The route ahead is rough, twisty and remote, towards the desert town of Namib. I'm pleased to say it's not my vehicle that's broken, it's Jacko's. And the problem is a result of a major modification being made to the vehicle very close to the date of departure on a major expedition. No time to test things thoroughly. I mean, who can honestly say that they haven't fitted some nice gadgets the day before departure? I know I have. Look at this place. It's our campsite for the night. It's just stupefyingly amazing. Angola has been an extraordinary experience, and it's hard to believe that I've been here for close to 3 weeks. But I guess all good things must come to an end. Tomorrow I'm heading east and then south to continue my quest to follow the Okavango River. Not far from Utah Canyon is the site of a deserted military base. Jaco Richter, one of my guides and an expert on the Angolan Bush War, wants to show me around. Other than the obvious clue that the men that served here were big fans of baked beans and creamed corn, there is not a lot of evidence left that this was a military base at all. But Jaco takes things a little more seriously.
And yeah, I've actually measured it. It's 6 square kilometers. So it's quite a huge place. Definitely a Cuban base, also a training base. Tank bunkers, SAM 2 and SAM 3 missile bunkers over here with the cables that were buried underground. Outer trenches running for like 2.5 kilometers, one trench. So it's a huge base.
Was it just Army or Air Force as well, do you think?
No, this was an air defense system. Definitely, yeah. If you look at the base, towards the sea and towards the road, all the trenches, all the tank bunkers and the 14.5 bunkers, which they used in the ground defense role. Yeah, all these bunkers had double entrances. If one would have been bombed in and collapsed, they would have been able to get out. This one has got 3. One on the right, one in the middle, and actually one on this side as well. This was the headquarters area. The main mess over here. These funny trenches is where the guys, obviously they collected their food, they went into the separate little bunkers while eating, and then they would disperse again to their specific positions. I assume they had the 4-barrel 23 mils in here, which is awesome weapon. This is a 23mm cartridge, so you can just imagine this size having 4 barrels times 6 firing up into the air. Yeah, no, this is huge.
No matter where you go in Angola, memories of war lie everywhere. But most are just scars and memories. Rarely is there an artifact that is displayed with any kind of pride. During my time in Angola, I found just 2, and both are in memory of lost airmen. This one is adorned with the broken tail fin of a MiG, acting as a kind of gate guard to Namib's airport. The second is odd. These stone carvings, almost look like aeroplanes, are placed almost haphazardly next to the roadway.
Well, another absolutely glorious morning in Africa. What we're going to do now is head away from the coast, kind of easterly, southeasterly, to a place called Lubango, which is a very scenic area. Now, I am told that there is a drive there that motoring journalists, motoring television producers dream about. No, let's put it a little bit more accurately. They don't dare dream about a road this good.
Between the towns of Namib and Lubango lies a pass, the pride of Angola. 36 corners, including 6 hairpins, 9 kilometers, and a climb of over 300 meters. The Libas Pass.
I do believe right now that I'd rather be behind the wheel of a, I don't know, Porsche. No. Something quick. Land Cruiser. That is without doubt the most spectacular mountain pass I've ever been on. In fact, cancel that. The others don't even begin to come close. It's stupefying. It's so amazing.
It's been an incredible experience, Angola. I look at it and I think I look at Africa in a slightly new light now. I look at the people and I think to myself, as Westerners, we don't have the right to judge. We don't have the right to look at them and look down on them just because of their apparent poverty. You know, yesterday in one of the towns, 3 girls came up to me. I couldn't understand them, they couldn't understand me. And I looked at them and I gave them names. Stephanie, Erin and Kate, the names of my 3 daughters. And they had bright smiling faces, big brown eyes. They were selling honey at the side of the road. I thought to myself, what makes me assume that my daughters are going to be any happier than they are? It's a wonderful country. I see wounds everywhere, but I see them being healed everywhere. I see a happy people. I see a divided people. Politically, I see them divided still. It's been really, really something for me, this Angola experience. For travellers who want to come here, I do recommend that you go with a guide that knows the area. Because navigating has been difficult and potentially is dangerous because of landmines. But boy, what a place. What a place this is.
There are only 3 statues like it in the world. One looks across Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, a second in Lisbon in Portugal, and a third is here, overlooking the town of Lubango, Angola.
In 1960 by Portuguese government or by Portuguese people, and as you can see there on the top, state that it was built.
Tem 20 metros de altura.
Okay, and this
Da base lá.
from their base to the top is 20 meters. Okay. Yeah. Excellent.
Well, this is where I find a moment to myself and consider the trip that I've just taken, which has been absolutely extraordinary. I'm not sure if Angola is quite ready for tourists yet, but it's certainly on its way. What disturbed me is standing below this magnificent statue and the people around it were talking about what beer they prefer to drink. I don't know, obviously something like this touches some people and doesn't touch others. But it's made me think about Angola as a nation, how it is a nation in its healing. It's still deep in the healing process, but the healing is all around it. I will be back. That I can guarantee you, because there is so much yet to see.
Well, it's a bit of an anticlimax really, that my exploration of Angola is complete. I'm now on a narrow track heading southeast, and will find myself on the banks again of the great Koneni River at Ruacana, where I met the convoy and guide Andre and
Jaco and the others who have taken me through this incredible journey through Angola.
Almost punch drunk from the intensity that was Angola, I enter Botswana, a country very familiar to me.